All right, let's dive right into the heart of Tauren culture. But we're not going to be talking about weapons or battles. No, today it's all about curiosity, because we're going to try and decode one of their most profound symbols, the totem.
So, just for a second, let's just quiet everything down and listen.
What are we listening for? Well, it's because what we're looking at here, these aren't just carved pieces of wood. There's so much more. They're practically a language, a history book, a spirit, all given physical form.
And that's really the key, isn't it? Knowing how to look. These totems, they're not just some silent decorations sitting out on the plains, no way. They are vibrant, living storytellers for an entire people.
Okay, so what is a totem really? At its absolute core, it's way more than just a landmark. The best way to think about it is as a living anchor.
Yeah, that definition right there, it's perfect. It's not just a block of wood. It's a whole tribe's identity made real, something you can actually touch. It's what grounds them, connects them to their ancestors, gives them strength today. It's basically their soul, carved out for everyone to see.
And this phrase, the spiritual weight of every notch. Wow, that really hits home just how much detail we're talking about here. Every single cut, every tiny notch carved into that wood, it's all deliberate. It's packed with meaning, with history, with a real spiritual weight. Absolutely nothing is an accident.
So let's start with a group you probably know, the Bloodhoof. For them, the totem isn't just a symbol. It serves a super specific, absolutely crucial purpose. Think of them as the ancestral scribes. And you can see their whole philosophy laid out right here. Their totems, they're these massive, towering monoliths, right? Built to last for generations. And their main job is to be a kind of living library. Every symbol you see etched into it tells a piece of their family story. The good, the bad, all of it. It's literally history that you can reach out and touch. Okay, let's pack our bags and head up to the peaks of High Mountain. Because up there, the whole purpose of the totem shifts. It's less about pure history and a lot more about artistry.
And here's the absolute key difference. A Bloodhoof carver, they're probably asking themselves, does this tell our story correctly? But a High Mountain carver, they're asking something else. They're asking, does this show my skill? Does this honor the spirit of the mountain itself? The whole focus just shifts from the what to the how.
So, yeah. A High Mountain totem is a true masterpiece of craftsmanship. It's a deeply personal expression. It's a reflection not just of the tribe, but of the individual artist's own soul and their incredible connection to those rugged peaks they call home.
But not all Tauren see it this way. That same piece of wood can be used to tell a very, very different story, a much harsher one.
Which brings us to the Grim Totem. And yeah, as their name kind of suggests, their approach to this sacred craft, well, it casts a much darker shadow on the wood.
I mean, just look at this contrast. On one side, you have the High Mountain carvings, which are all about honoring skill in the natural world. And on the other, the Grim Totem. They use their totems to project power, to enforce a really strict tribal ideology. The purpose isn't history, it's not artistry, it's about communicating strength and a pretty severe worldview. This is a total reinterpretation of what a totem is even for. It's a radical departure from tradition. They focus on these potent, honestly kind of intimidating symbols. The totem stops being a history book and becomes a tool, a banner for their specific beliefs. It's designed to send a very clear, very uncompromising message.
So, okay, we've just looked at 3 tribes and 3 completely different philosophies for the exact same tradition. What does that tell us about the Tauren as a whole? It shows that there is incredible diversity bubbling just under the surface of this one culture.
And this chart breaks it down perfectly. You've got the Bloodhoof, who are all about ancestral history. The High Mountain, masterful craftsmanship. And the Grim Totem, it's all about tribal power. 3 totally different paths, all starting from the same ancient piece of cedar. And this really helps visualize the whole idea. See, every Tauren tribe cares about ancestry, craftsmanship, iconography, and spirit. They all do. But it's the emphasis, right? The amount of importance they place on each piece of the pie, that's what truly defines them. That's what makes each one unique. And to me, that's such a fascinating takeaway. The material itself, the ancient cedar, it's the same for everyone. But the story it tells, that's shaped entirely by the hands, the heart, and the culture of the person doing the carving.
Which brings us all the way back to that beautiful idea from the beginning. It doesn't matter if their focus is history or art or even power. At the end of the day, all of these totems are living anchors. They give their people a sense of stability, a sense of self, in a world that, let's be honest, is always changing.
So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. If the story of your family or your community, or heck, even just your own life, if it were carved into a totem, what would it show? What symbols would define you? What would be the spiritual weight of your notches?